إن الحمد لله أحمده وأستعينه وأستغفره وأستهديه، وأعوذ بالله تعالى من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له، ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا بين يدي الساعة. من يطع الله ورسوله فقد رشد، ومن يعص الله ورسوله فإنه لا يضر إلا نفسه ولا يضر الله شيئا. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله، وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، وشر الأمور محدثاتها، وكل محدثة بدعة، وكل بدعة ضلالة، وكل ضلالة في النار. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء، واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم، ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. وبعد، فإني أستغفر الله وأتوب إليه، وأذكركم ونفسي بتقوى الله عز وجل. أيها الإخوة الأحبة الكرام، ورد عن بعض أصحاب رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم كابن مسعود وغيره أنهم أشاروا إلى آيات في كتاب الله، 8 آيات في كتاب الله هي خير لهذه الأمة مما طلعت عليه الشمس أو غربت. 8 آيات من سورة النساء. يقول الله عز وجل: يريد الله ليبين لكم سنن الذين من قبلكم ويتوب عليكم، ويريد الذين يتبعون الشهوات أن تميلوا ميلا عظيما، يريد الله ليخفف عنكم وخلق الإنسان ضعيفا. ويقول: والله يريد أن يتوب عليكم، ويريد الذين يتبعون الشهوات أن تميلوا ميلا عظيما. ويقول سبحانه وتعالى: يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تأكلوا أموالكم بينكم بالباطل إلا أن تكون تجارة عن تراض منكم، ولا تقتلوا أنفسكم إنه كان بكم رحيما، ومن يفعل ذلك عدوانا وظلما فسوف نصليه نارا وكان ذلك على الله يسيرا. ثم هذه بشارة يقول فيها الله عز وجل في نفس السورة ومتابعة لهذه الآيات: إن تجتنبوا كبائر ما تنهون عنه نكفر عنكم سيئاتكم وندخلكم مدخلا كريما. ويقول الله عز وجل: إن الله لا يظلم مثقال ذرة وإن تك حسنة يضاعفها ويؤتي من لدنه أجرا عظيما. هذه 7 آيات. الآية الثامنة هي قول الله عز وجل: إن الله لا يغفر أن يشرك به ويغفر ما دون ذلك لمن يشاء. 8 آيات هي خير لهذه الأمة مما طلعت عليه الشمس وغربت. فيها بشائر، وفيها إعلام أنه من يطع الله ورسوله ويجتنب حدود الله عز وجل وينتهي عما حرم الله عز وجل ويلقى الله عز وجل، وإن كانت عليه بعض الذنوب والآثام من الصغائر، إن لقي الله عز وجل وهو لا يشرك به فإن الله عز وجل يغفر له. أيها الإخوة، أدعوكم ونفسي في هذه الخطبة وفيما يتبعها من الخطب التي ستكون عبارة عن سلسلة. أذكركم ونفسي بما نهى الله عز وجل عنه وبما أمر، لأننا في حاجة إلى التذكرة. نحن في حاجة إلى التذكرة والموعظة، وهذه فرصتنا. فأسأل الله عز وجل أن يوفقني وإياكم، وأدعوكم أن تعزموا على هذا وأن تنووا هذا حتى يكتب لكم الأجر. أسأل الله عز وجل أن يعينني وإياكم على شهواتنا وعلى أنفسنا، ويجعلنا من الذين يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه، ويجعلنا ممن يقولون سمعنا وأطعنا. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, we have been hearing in the news lately about the rise of all kinds of, we see this every day, we read about it every day. When we surf the net, we see symptoms and we see signs of it. The rise of all kinds of social problems, phenomena, dangerous ones and critical ones, such as everything is in the rise: murder, mass murder, senseless murder, double murders, triple murders, all kinds of murders, some of which are carried by the hands of people who are supposedly people who fear Allah or believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rape, hate crimes, gang violence, and in some areas that are highly populated by Muslims, now we have Muslim gangs. Gangs that are formed by young people who are Muslim. Thefts and robberies. And what is very alarming is that recently you hear robberies about robberies, and you hear about people who got mugged, people who are elderly, children, even people who are handicapped or disabled or physically challenged are now being victimized. And with all these issues that involve a wide range of victims, we are being affected by this, whether we like it or not, whether we realize it or not. We are exposed to it, our children are exposed to it, and it affects us. And despite all the resources that this society has, despite all these resources and everything at the disposal of the law enforcement agencies and the governments, this society is facing major crises. A moral one, a social one, a political one, economical one, in every field. And now more than ever, brothers and sisters, America needs Islam. Or at least Islamic principles and values. And who is better to inform America about what Islam is all about and the Islamic values? Who is better than the Muslims? But wait a minute. How dare I say this, or how could I even think or suggest of the Muslims being the ones that carry this message to others, when we ourselves as Muslims have been failing to follow the principles of this deen? You see, brothers and sisters, we have an amazing faith, an amazing system that has proven itself in the past and that has been proving itself throughout the ages. We know that this system went to the Arabian Peninsula, or came to the Arabian Peninsula at the worst of its when the Arabian Peninsula was actually suffering from the decline of moral values, and when the Arabs were scattered and divided, when people used to rob one another, when women were humiliated, when all kinds of social illnesses were acceptable, Islam came and changed that society. In a matter of few years, 23 years, it transformed that entire Arabian Peninsula. A land that was never united before. People who were never able to come, even under the banner of nationalism. They did not unite. What did it for them? Islam. What solved all of their problems? Islam. Islam, which is the extension of the messages of the prophets before Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Islam, which is the essence of all the messages that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, if the people of those messages were to follow what Allah has revealed in their book, وَلَوْ أَنَّ أَهْلَ الْقُرَىٰ آمَنُوا وَاتَّقَوْا لَفَتَحْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ بَرَكَاتٍ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ وَالْأَرْضِ. This is what Islam is. Perfection. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent this message to an extraordinary group of people who allowed this message and the system that is based on this message, that is the Islamic system, they allowed that system a full chance, and they followed it and they embraced it and they committed. And brothers and sisters, this did not happen without a struggle. And it did not, and I'm talking about on a personal level, on all levels actually, but even let's just focus on the personal level. It did not happen without some struggle on the personal level. Some of the Sahaba had to change their ways, had to give up some of their customs and some of their habits. They had to transform. Some of them most of them actually had to learn Islam from scratch. But they were committed to this process. And they allowed the Quran full access to their hearts. You see, we don't yet, as Muslims, appreciate this deen. We don't appreciate the Quran. We don't appreciate the power of this book and what this book can do for us as individuals and as communities. The Sahaba realized the value of the Quran, so they allowed the Quran full access, and they let the Quran heal them from their sicknesses and from their illnesses. Full access to their hearts. سَمِعْنَا وَأَطَعْنَا. And they followed that gradual process of the Quran, and they were able to transform. And they were able to become, from the worst of nations, the best. خَيْرُ أُمَّةٍ أُخْرِجَتْ لِلنَّاسِ. And only the Quran can do that. And of course, it was administered by the best of teachers, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam had the best of students, and he had the best of followers. And his message still is there. And many people benefited from it. So when is it going to be our turn, brothers and sisters? You see, many of us, unfortunately, violate some of the basic principles of Islam. All of us. And we fail over and over again. And I thought to myself, maybe if we discover the value of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent us in this book, maybe if we understand the process of this change that the Quran brought, maybe we will then appreciate what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent us. We will then understand. If you remember, a few weeks ago, I talked about I was trying to make the case for the Islamic law, for the Islamic teachings. And I was talking to you and reminding myself about how this came to bring us happiness and to bring us balance and to fulfill our needs and how Islam and all the laws of Islam did not come, brothers and sisters, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala repeats this in the Quran, to cause hardship in our lives. No, Allah says in the Quran, in verses that some of the Sahaba say they are the best of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had revealed to this ummah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala repeatedly says in the Quran, يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ لِيُخَفِّفَ عَنْكُمْ, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala intends to ease your lives for you. يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ بِكُمُ الْيُسْرَ وَلَا يُرِيدُ بِكُمُ الْعُسْرَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala intends ease for you and not difficulty and hardship. And in the laws of Islam, and adhering to them, is that ease that we are yet to discover. I'll give you an example that will make the point and shows you and I how Islam took the Sahaba through this gradual process. You see, one of the ni'mah, one of the bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon the early generation of this ummah was that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not send the Quran all at once in one book like the Ten Commandments or the Torah and told the Sahaba obey it. If it was revealed all at once, they would have had to apply it. But rather, the Quran came gradually segmented over an extended period of time. And what it did is that it built iman, faith, connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, made Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the most important, and the relationship with Him the most valuable and most critical in the lives of the companions. And then it introduced, along with that, the basics of some of those universal ethical values. Over 13 years, this was what was taught. And then when the Muslims went to Medina and they were able to form, they built their own masjid and they were able to form a community, the rules and regulations started to be introduced to them, one after another. And in most cases, when they were ready. In some cases, they had to ask for it. One example in particular is the prohibition of alcohol, alcoholic beverages, wine, and whatever shares with wine that quality of intoxicating. Intoxicants were very popular in Arabia. People used to drink them, consume them. People were addicted to them. Now Islam did not come and from the beginning it said, quit it, stop it. Aisha, in fact, in a hadith, she says that if the Quran came and from the get-go it said, abandon adultery and fornication and quit drinking and don't do this and don't do that, they would have not been able to handle it. But it came and it taught them faith, iman, which we are struggling to learn. We're struggling to keep up with our prayers. It taught them that. But the companions were committed. So they gradually got to the level where they were ready for more. And then when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed, whether it is verses about stealing or about riba, or about drinking, or fornication, any of those verses that were revealed, the Sahaba embraced it and they applied it immediately. Or verses about hijab, they did not say, oh wait a minute, I'm not ready. They did not start arguing with the Prophet ﷺ, trying to find a better deal. They did not try to negotiate a better deal with the Prophet ﷺ. They knew it was from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So they immediately applied it. سَمِعْنَا وَأَطَعْنَا. This was their model. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as they obey, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed them. Made them victorious. And in no time they were able to change the course of history. We keep struggling for the past 25 years with the same issues over and over again. Maybe we need to discover this process. So back to the example of how intoxicants were made forbidden in Islam. Nothing was said about it in the beginning, until people in Medina had a community. And then the Sahaba, of course, noticed that the Prophet ﷺ himself does not drink and does not behave in a fashion. And they were curious as to what the Islamic ruling would be on this. So they came and they asked the Prophet ﷺ. So they came and asked. They did not come and ask to find excuses. No, they came to learn. So they were willing to learn. And they were ready to listen. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the verse from Surah Al-Baqarah. يَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الْخَمْرِ وَالْمَيْسِرِ. They ask you, O Muhammad, about khamr, wine, intoxicants, and maysir, gambling. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could have said it's haram, stop it. But these, whether it's gambling or drinking, they're very addictive. And people are attached to it. So the Quran now takes the Sahaba in this gradual process of freeing them from those vices. قُلْ فِيهِمَا إِثْمٌ كَبِيرٌ. Say to them, O Muhammad, in response to their question, there is great sin and harm in them. وَمَنَافِعُ لِلنَّاسِ. And the Quran recognizes, and it says, وَمَنَافِعُ لِلنَّاسِ. And some benefits. Could be financial. There are some benefits. There is some fun that goes with that. Some. وَإِثْمُهُمَا أَكْبَرُ مِنْ نَفْعِهِمَا. However, the harm outweighs the benefits. So bear that in mind. You are people of understanding and you have great sense. And it left it right there. Now the Sahaba started to see the evil side, the bad side of those actions. And then the next step, a verse was revealed in the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the believers who have developed great level of attachment, and we will talk about salah. They developed great level of attachment to salah, coming and praying with the Prophet ﷺ 5 times a day, and that purified them, it elevated them to a higher level. It happened that someone came and started mixing up the recitation. He prayed while drunk. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا لَا تَقْرَبُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَأَنْتُمْ سُكَارَى. O you who believe, do not come to the prayer while drunk. So now, there's this conflict. Their addiction, that habit that they're used to, and salah that they are used to, and they are more passionate about it. So which one comes first? Salah. So now they minimize their exposure, or they minimize their contact with this habit. And they don't have a lot of time because they have 5 daily prayers. When are they going to drink? So okay, maybe drink late after Isha. So by the time of Fajr, they're okay. They can go and pray. And then finally, after a while, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reveals, Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu, O you who believe. And always Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts His orders, whenever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands the believers to do something or prohibits them from something, with Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu. A reminder that you are those who believe. Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu, remember, you are very special. O you who believe, إِنَّمَا الْخَمْرُ وَالْمَيْسِرُ وَالْأَنْصَابُ وَالْأَزْلَامُ رِجْسٌ مِّنْ عَمَلِ الشَّيْطَانِ. Wine and gambling and all the other elements that were mentioned, they are from the acts of shaitan. They're evil from the acts of shaitan. They're from the work of the devil. فَاجْتَنِبُوهُ. So stay away from it. And now that it was made clear to them that it is from the acts of the devil, they would stay away from it. What did the Sahaba do? They were ready. You see, there was this rehab process that they went through, this gradual process that they went through, so they were ready. They did not say, okay, let's get rid of, okay, let's take the last sip of this, okay, let me just finish my bottles. Oh, maybe I should sell them? No. That's it. Umar says, انتهينا إنما يريد الشيطان أن يوقع بينكم العداوة والبغضاء في الخمر والميسر ويصدكم عن ذكر الله وعن الصلاة فهل أنتم منتهون. Shaitan intends to cause enmity between you because of gambling and because of these habits, because of drinking and he wants to distract you from the remembrance of Allah and from salah. So are you going to stop? Are you going to quit? Are you going to give it up? Umar said, Intahayna, we give it up, we give it up. The city of Medina, the streets of the city of Medina flew with wine for days. They broke it, they got rid of it. And then after that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through His Prophet, told the Sahaba that it is cursed. Stay away from it. Don't sell it. And there was that reinforcement from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There was a reminder that a person who drinks will not enter paradise. An alcoholic will not enter paradise. And those who give it up in this life, they will drink it in the hereafter, and it will taste much better. And it will not intoxicate or cause them to lose their judgment. This is how the Quran kept reinforcing this, and the Sahaba were free from this habit. This is the rehab process that the Quran introduces. And it works because it first deals and tackles the basis of any habit-changing technique, which is you have to believe in it, you have to have the desire for it. I say this and I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us of those who listen and follow the best of what they listen to. Dear brothers and sisters, the point is that just like the Quran worked for the Sahaba back then, it will work for us if we are willing to follow the Quranic method, if we are willing to listen and obey, if we're willing to go through this gradual process of growth, spiritual growth. You see, we continue to have all kinds of conflicts in our lives. We continue to have all kinds of issues, and we continue to struggle because we have not yet discovered this process, or we are not willing to go through it. And if we continue to do this, if we continue to act in this fashion, where we say something and we act totally different, we are not going to appeal to people, we're not going to attract people to Islam, nor are we going to see any happiness or peace in our lives. And I tell you, in the process we are going to lose the next generation. Because these kind of double standards turn them off, turn them away from Islam. We are yet having all kinds of problems and issues. People violating each other's rights. People robbing one another. Muslims violating each other's rights. Muslims abusing family members. And then when you look at it, it all has to do with the failure to follow this process. So inshallah, starting from my next khutbah, we are going to take it one issue and one point at a time and talk about it. See, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran says that if you were to avoid the greatest of sins, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive your sins, the minor ones. نُكَفِّرْ عَنْكُمْ سَيِّئَاتِكُمْ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless you in your lives. We'll start with that. Some of the major sins that we are engaging in, we need to understand them, and we need to stay away from them, and we need to give it up. So let us, brothers and sisters, make this intention to follow this gradual process of the Quran, sincerely and for the sake of Allah, and allow the Quran to transform us and change us. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make you and I of those who listen and follow the best of what they listen to. Brothers and sisters, I must recognize, before we conclude this khutbah, and bring to your attention that in this community we have some extraordinary brothers and sisters that no matter how many times we call upon them, they come and they respond positively. 2 or 3 weeks ago, I made the announcement that we want to get rid of the debts of this masjid. And we asked for 24 people to come forward with $50,000 each, whether it's from them or someone else, or they get together with some of their family members or friends and give this money to the masjid. 24 people will take care of the $1.2 million. And And alhamdulillah, we have gotten some response from some people. We're down to 19 now. Those of you who are not aware of this, again, we present you with this opportunity. And for those 5 individuals who came forward and said that we are willing to take care of this, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless them, to bless their families. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to take care of their debts and to take care of their problems in this life and in the hereafter. اللهم اعز الاسلام والمسلمين، اللهم ابرم لامه الاسلام امرا رشدا يعز فيه اهل طاعتك ويذل فيه اهل معصيتك ويؤمر فيه بالمعروف وينهى فيه عن المنكر. اللهم اهدنا واهد بنا واجعلنا هداة مهديين لا ضالين ولا مضلين سلما لاوليائك حربا على اعدائك. عباد الله، ان الله يامر بالعدل والاحسان وايتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. واقم الصلاه.
Mm-hmm.